Hi everybody, it's Jody and I'm back with another review for you today. Today is a first for GirlMeetsUke. I'm going to be reviewing a Guitarlele by Caramel. So let's take our look. All right. So, yeah, this is my first guitalele. It's kind of a new world for me, and I will do my best, okay? I really want to focus on the purpose of this video, which is to review this particular instrument. But I've got a whole slew of other ideas. I'll probably make a playlist for guitarleles to talk about what it is, whether or not I recommend it for you, who it would be a good fit for. I have another guitarlele I'm going to be reviewing and I'll compare the two. So those will be coming. If you have any questions, put those in the comments. But I'm really going to try to focus just on reviewing this particular instrument in this video. So let's get started. All right, so this is listed on Amazon. This is the Caramel CB204G, and it is listed as electric, ukulele, guitalele, mini travel guitar starter pack. Okay, so they kind of covered all their bases with that. And when I first did the unboxing for this, some people got upset by the labeling that this company made, calling it a guitarlele, saying it wasn't really a guitarlele, it was more of a child's guitar. And I kind of am not so stringent on the terminology, because if you think about a ukulele, if you say ukulele, that includes sopranos, tenors, concerts, baritones. There's multiple ways to tune a ukulele, and you know, there's 5-string ukuleles, there's all different kinds, and we call them all ukulele, and we're all happy with that. So I don't see why there can't be, oh, my darn light went out. Oh well, we're just gonna make do, because this is a long overdue video. All right, so I don't see why we can't give the same freedom with the term guitarlele. Basically, it is what it is, whatever you call it. So I'll just tell you what it is, and then we'll just move on from there. Basically, it kind of depends on how you play it and how you tune it, whether or not it's more of a guitar or more of a ukulele. I will say right off the bat, I've been treating it kind of like a small guitar. And that is one thing they do say in the description, that it's like a 4th size guitar. So this is 30 inches, and it's got, the scale is 20 inches, which is the same as a baritone. I have my baritone right here. So guitarleles typically can have a baritone scale or a tenor scale, and this one is a baritone scale. As you can see, it's got the same size body, and it is the same distance from nut to saddle, which is about 20 inches. So this is like a baritone guitarlele. It is made out of solid acacia, which I did appreciate that they're honest and they call it acacia and not koa, because if it were solid Hawaiian koa, it'd be over $1,000. And this is under 200. But it's very pretty. I do really like the wood grain on here. It's nicely constructed. And I do really appreciate the aesthetics of this instrument. Now, solid wood does not automatically mean better. And sometimes I think these budget brands think that as long as they use solid wood, then theirs are better than the laminate instruments. And really, it's also got to be thin, and it's got to have minimal bracing, just enough bracing to keep it stable so that it can be super resonant. And this is not super resonant. It's a little chunky, the wood. Let's try. So there's that. It is a little chunky, but not, I mean, I've certainly seen a lot thicker solid wood instruments. So, so there's that. It did not say what the neck was made out of. I'm guessing mahogany. It seems like most instruments have a mahogany neck, but it's got it's made out of 3 pieces. There's a joint here, and there's a joint up here. This one's a little bit more obvious than this one, but neither of them really stick out like a sore thumb. And you're gonna have to pay a lot more money to have a neck that's all one piece of wood. So there's that. And then the fretboard is walnut. The fretboard and the bridge is walnut. And that is my first criticism, really kind of my only criticism of this instrument, is that it's very dry. Very, very dry fretboard and bridge. So the first time I change the strings on this, I will be oiling the fretboard and conditioning it and giving it a nice drink of water. Not really water. So there's that. The bridge has bridge pins, just like most guitars, for the strings, which make it pretty easy to change. The nut and the saddle are made out of buffalo bone. Now let's talk about this nut, okay? It is wide. It is wide. Let's see. It is 1.9 inches or 48.2 millimeters wide. Now to put that in perspective, most ukuleles are between 35 to 38 millimeters wide, or 1.5 inches at the most. That's pretty much the widest ukulele nut you're gonna find. And again, this is 1.9 inches or 48 millimeters. It is wider than my acoustic guitar nut. I play Baby Taylor, and that one, let's see, I wrote it down, has a 1.68 inches or 42.8 millimeters, and this one has 48.2 millimeters. So it's wider than my acoustic guitar nut, and that is taking some getting used to. Now it is smaller than a classical guitar nut, which is about 52 millimeters. So it is smaller. Did I say wider? It's smaller than a classical guitar nut, wider than acoustic guitar nut. So it's kind of in between. And really, in those terms, it's almost more like a small classical guitar. However, the strings are more like an acoustic guitar. So it's really interesting. The strings, we've got 3 like nylon strings, the highest strings, and then 3 wound strings. Now these are not the same as an acoustic guitar. The center of them are still like a nylon material. If you try to put regular acoustic guitar strings on here, the tension would be way too high for this instrument. I learned that in my research. But it feels, like these 3 strings feel like a guitar, an acoustic guitar string. Okay, we'll talk more about the strings in a moment. Let me make sure I do all the specs though. We've got sealed geared tuners with like a kind of a rubbery feeling peg, and the tuners are nice and smooth, and I haven't had any complaints or issues with them, so they're fine. The headstock is humongous. I feel like they could have made that headstock a little bit smaller. It's really a big headstock. It's got the branding, Caramel, is like etched in there pretty deep and pretty nicely. There's no flaws on that. A lot of times that's where I'll see like a blemish on these like budget brand, and this one doesn't have any flaws on the branding, and I like that. I like that better than just like a screen printed logo. Yeah, oh, so it's got a pickup. You can see right there, that's where it goes in. It's got a button battery, and then it's got controls right here. So it has a control for volume, bass, middle, and treble, and then it also has a tuner, which I really like. It's very convenient. I like that a lot. I will be plugging this in a little bit. But, oh, and then it's got this rosette. Now, they don't say what it is in the listing, and I don't think it's real abalone, but it looks like real abalone. It's sparkly, it's got depth to it, it's really pretty. I mean, I really can't tell. It does not feel like a sticker, but it's really pretty. I don't think the video is really going to do it as much justice. But overall, this is like what I like. I've realized I'm not like a huge flashy girl when it comes to instruments. I like understated beauty. I mean, the wood grain is beautiful. I like the color of the wood, and then I think that rosette is just enough for me. I really think this is a stunning, beautiful instrument, just the way it is. It seems so dark. I'm gonna switch over here. All right, so powering through. Let's do some a little bit of playing so you can hear it. tune it first. Now, this one, according to their listing, they say tune it like a guitar, E, A, D, G, B, E. Which I've done, okay? They don't say what kind of strings they are. So I don't know what kind of strings they are. But I've tuned it like a little guitar. And that works well for finger picking. Which is what I've been doing because I've really missed playing some of my more complicated finger picking songs that I used to play on guitar. However, for strumming, it's a little low tension. We're getting a lot of like slapping. If I strum hard, it's like slapping against the fretboard. So it probably should be tuned like a traditional guitarlele, which is basically these 4 strings are the same as a ukulele, G, C, E, A, and then we've got the additional 2 bass strings, which are an A and a D. So it's like a guitar with a capo on it on the 4th fret, 5th fret. And I did tune it that way to try it out. And I didn't leave it like that for very long for 2 reasons. First, I was a little nervous that maybe tuning it up that much was putting a lot of strain and too much tension on the neck. And in fact, my high string, this bridge pin popped out twice when I did that. So I was just nervous and I didn't leave it tuned like that. Also, I just didn't enjoy playing it like that so much. It felt very foreign. It didn't feel like a ukulele. It didn't feel like a guitar. It was just a whole other beast, which I think is what the point is of a guitarlele. But I had already gotten a taste of playing it like a little guitar, and I enjoy that because I have a guitar background. So I put it back in the guitar tuning, and I am enjoying that. Now, there'll be another video about experimenting with tuning. I'm going to figure out a proper string configuration where I'll get proper tension with guitar tuning. And I already have some ideas for that. I've already done a little research, but if you have any suggestions, go ahead and put those in the comments. And there'll be a separate video on that. There's a lot to dig into with the world of guitarleles. But I'm just gonna leave it with their recommendation and also the way I like playing it. But it's not really, I think it's ideally should be tuned like a guitarlele, A, D, G, C, E, A. And then I think you'd have more proper tension and you can strum it without getting a lot of that slapping. It is really pretty loose. I did forget to mention in the specs, this has a truss rod and it came with a wrench for adjusting the truss rod. Which I have not done. Okay, so let's plug it in and listen to it plugged in. Stay tuned. I am going to use the wire that they gave me, the cable that they gave me. It's pretty thin, and I know that there's a whole world of different types of cables, and I'm not at all interested in going down that rabbit hole. But I will go ahead and use the one they gave me, but I'll just show it to you. It's pretty thin, but I'm gonna plug it in. So when you first plug it in, it's not activated. The tuner's activated. So when you tune it, it's not going through the amp. That's pretty standard on these kind of pickups. And it's kind of convenient if you're doing a gig or something and you need to tune real quick. Everyone's not hearing you tune. So then you press the button to turn off the tuner, and now it's going through the amp. And again, you can adjust the volume. As loud as it goes, but again, I mean, you can also adjust the volume on the amp, and then you can adjust the bass, the middle, and the treble. I'm not going to mess with them too much because I've already kind of played around with how I want it, but I do like having that control right here. It's pretty nice. Here we go. So I'll go ahead and do a little bit more finger picking. Let's see. playing all kinds of songs. It's not a super loud instrument, not plugged in, and if you're going to tune it the way they suggest, you do have to play it kind of soft. And so plugging it in and playing it soft, I quite like. In fact, I'm going to record a couple songs with the guitarlele, just songs that I want to have documented that I like to play. Let's see. It's hard for me to talk about tone, because it's plugged in. Let me unplug it. It does have a warm tone and it's very mellow. It doesn't have like a ukulele bark to it. And it's quiet. The sustain's not bad. The sustain is actually quite good. I really like it. I like it though because I play guitar and I'm playing it like a little guitar. Now, I do think with some experimentation, you can also tune it like a guitarlele, and that would be a whole separate instrument, and you can play it a whole separate way. And how cool is that? That you can have an instrument and you can treat it like a guitar, or you could treat it like a guitarlele with two bass, or a ukulele with two bass strings. It's fun. It's pretty. It's well made. I haven't found any blemishes on it, and I've looked. I forgot to mention it's very smooth. The fretboard is bound, and there are no sharp frets, and the intonation is good. So I do like the instrument. It's just I have to get the tuning down, the tension correct on this bad boy. Let me talk about the value of this instrument and what it came with, because it came with quite a bit of goodies. So let's get there. All right, so it came in this gig bag. You will have seen all these if you saw the unboxing of this instrument, but it came with this gig bag that's got a circular pocket that I do think could be bigger, but it's okay. It's got the slightly padded handle, and it's got backpack straps, which is nice. Yay, yay, yay. And it's decent padding. So the gig bag's pretty good. I give it a B. And then it came with all these goodies. It came with a wall hanger. You can hang this on the wall. And it's got the anchors and the screws and everything for hanging it on the wall. I actually have a few of these because I ended up buying, oh, look at that. So it goes like that on the wall. It goes like that. I actually, bought custom wall hangers. See them right there from Etsy. So I don't use these kind of wall hangers. Also, I have a video on how you can use command hooks for wall hangers to hang your ukuleles. Pretty easy. So I'm going to be giving this one away to the first person that comments that says they would like it. And anywhere in the world, guys. So first person to comment that says they would like this wall hanger gets it. All right. So post it in the comments below. It also came with a really nice capo that I really like. I mean, very sturdy capo. Yay, which is good because my ukulele capos would not work with this. And it's just the perfect size. It came with extra strings, but it's interesting, on the front, it just says 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't say the 6, but there are 6 strings. So there's 3 nylon and 3 of the wound, but they don't tell you which is which. And I'm not gonna be using these. I'm gonna be getting other strings. It came with, I mentioned, the little Allen wrench for the truss rod. And it came with this little tool, which I believe is for getting the bridge pins out. It came with instruction booklet, which I really like, although some of it is about ukuleles and not guitarleles, like the chord charts. So that's not cool at all. We give them the chord charts for a guitarlele because some people who bought these don't know those chords. So that's kind of frustrating. This needs to be a guitarlele instruction booklet. But they do teach you on how to change the strings, how to tune it, how to keep it humidified, what it should be kept with, how to use the truss rod. So this is actually a pretty nice instruction booklet compared to what I've gotten in a lot of little bundles. But come on, guys, put the guitarlele chords in there. It came with a strap and strap buttons. The strap buttons are not pre-installed, which if you're left-handed, you will appreciate. Or if you don't want strap buttons, you'll appreciate that as well. But they do give them to you, and I have a video on how to do that. It's not hard. Don't be afraid. And then it comes with this black strap, which is pretty thin for the size of this instrument. I think you could get away with a regular guitar strap, honestly, with that. Nicely made and just plain black. I don't have them here, but it also came with some two extra bridge pins and a handful of picks, a felt pick and some other regular picks, which is nice because you could use a pick on this for sure, especially if you want to play it like a guitar. So yeah, that's the instrument. It's hard for me to say whether or not I recommend it because it really depends on your background, if you've played guitar before, and how much you want to learn more, how much you can handle this thick nut, and all of that's going to be discussed in a separate video because it's not really what, you know, it's not reflective of this particular instrument. It's just guitarleles in general. But I will say I have had a lot of fun playing it. I really have enjoyed it. It's not as comfortable as a ukulele or even a baritone ukulele because of the thicker nut, the wider nut. For me, it's not as comfortable, but I have really been enjoying those bass notes and it's fun. I've got a lot more experimentation to do, but I do think this is a really good value. It's $160 with all of that stuff and the cable. So I do think it is a good value and something that definitely deserves your consideration. So stay tuned. There are going to be lots more guitarlele themed videos coming up because there's just a lot more to talk about with this. And again, I have a Kmise guitarlele now to also review and compare, and then we'll just talk about tuning and fun stuff. So if you have questions, put them in the comments below. And have a great day, guys. Don't forget to play your uke today. Don't forget to play your guitarlele today. And have fun. Bye, guys.